All right, here I'm at Buffalo Bill's graveyard. Well, Lookout Mountain to be exact. And I just want to talk to everyone about a little bit what's going on in the world and basically how we can kind of reset our mental faculties to adjust to the insanities that seems to be our daily life. Right now, we have a great opportunity to try to reestablish values, morals, ethics, and understand the value of people and not things. I know a lot of us have had successful careers and have made a lot of money, and that's enabled us to acquire a lot of things. And once you acquire those things, if you're somewhat intelligent, you realize those things don't really tend to matter as much as people and opportunities to help people and the community we live in. And I think we've lost sight of everything. Really, we've become so commercial, and everybody's spending at such a high rate that nobody has any money left over. So um, I'd like to see everyone reset and kind of sit down and write down your goals and aspirations of you as an individual, not as you as a money maker or um, what things you want, as opposed to maybe what vacations or experiences you want from life, and the kind of person you want to be, the kind of father, brother, friend that you would like to see yourself kind of rise above and become. This virus thing is become completely blown out of proportion by a multitude of factors. And what it basically amounts to is the government saying, if you drive down this road, there could be a pothole ahead, and that pothole may affect you or may not affect you. But in the meantime, with us closing companies and deciding your fate already, essentially what we've done is taken your car and your steering wheel and driven you directly into a brick wall. So the recovery for the health part of it is more than likely that you'll be just fine. The recovery for the economic part of it is a whole different story, and that's where we're having a problem, and there's a huge disconnect. The other thing is the CDC, the World Health Organization, they haven't brought forth the best ways to boost your immune system, or to have, this, the basic, they say wash your hands. Well, in 1918, the Spanish flu, which it was termed, but it was actually created in America. I guess Spain got hit the hardest by it. San Francisco actually had quarantined off the entire city prior to the epidemic coming. And what happened was they underpredicted or miscalculated how long the virus would stay around, so they lifted the quarantine and effectively wiped out a lot of the population because they did it too early. Now, the conditions in 1918 are completely different, and I hate analogies based on old information, old data, and things that kind of don't pertain to what's happening today. Obviously, we're much more sanitary. We don't have people, 100 people using one outhouse, at least not yet. So there's a lot of parallels, but then there's a lot of differences between then and now. What's happening now, though, is the numbers that have come out are highly positive in my view. And again, it's the difference between, hey, there might be a pothole in the road and it may cause you some problems, or you may just be absolutely fine, which more likely than not you'll be fine. Um, so we don't want you to take that risk. So we're going to go ahead and take you off the road. But before we do that, we're going to slam your car directly into a brick wall. And the brick wall being the economic part of the quarantine. It's absolutely ridiculous. In order for us to survive as people, we need money. We have to pay bills and everything else. And if we are not able to do that, and the government has basically initiated martial law, and they've called it a lot of different things in different cities. The sit and squat, or the um, There's a couple birds out here. It's kind of nice. The sit and squat, or they've termed it things that don't sound scary. Oh, just sit and squat and don't do anything. Anytime the government tells you what to do, and like I said, if it was the Spanish flu, you died within 12 to 24 hours. You would have essentially no symptoms. You bled outside of your nose, mouth, and ears, similar to the Ebola virus, and it was very, very scary. Now, if that were the case, I would not present this video, and I'd say stay at home and be scared as possible, but that's not what we're facing. We're facing influenza virus that is contagious, but not that deadly. But what is deadly is the economic fallout, and that's what's going to hurt us for the next 20, 30, 40 years. Now, the nice thing is we have an opportunity to change things. Elected officials that simply shut things down in order to save their job, and that's basically what's happening now, is you have intelligent people, some in the government, that are effectively following the trend of Washington and just wanting to save their own asses, just in case this does become more of a problem than what it in reality is. So we need to wipe out the politicians. We need to start over. We need people with common sense and good ideas, not ridiculous numbers and everything free for everybody all the time. Because in life, nothing's free. So if it's free today, you're going to pay for it tomorrow. Everybody knows there's no free lunch. If you can, just take this time and really reflect on your values and understand what really is important to you. And for some of us, we don't really know, and that's okay. Take some time to think about it. But what do you want to accomplish out of life outside of acquiring money and acquiring items and presenting yourself as something that maybe most likely you're probably not, but rather reset and find your value system and your morality and figure out a new system. The old system doesn't work. So this Corona deal is just the end of the road for many people who have extended themselves financially beyond their means, and essentially we have an economic crisis before all this happened, because if you don't spend every dollar you make, then the economy is in trouble. Well, if you don't have any savings, then you're in trouble. So what's more important, the economy or you? And I understand that you're a part of the economy, but we've been at a fever pitch for a long time as far as being able to cover our expenses effectively. So reset, sit down with your family, have an honest conversation, and just kind of figure out what your goals are as a family. And hopefully it won't be to get the next iPhone or anything materialistic. Those things don't matter, honestly. I mean, you're going to have people that are psychologically connected to technology, and there will be withdrawal symptoms and everything else. But once you redirect that energy into something a little more positive, i.e. getting outside, maybe we can reduce diabetes, maybe we could reduce obesity in America. There's a lot of positive things that can come out of this. Don't be afraid. Don't listen to the media. Everything's hyped up. They're trying to get you to be afraid. And when that happens, that's basically the fall of civilization. So stay strong, stay positive, look for outlets. Physically, I'm out here in the middle of nowhere. As you can see, there's a few people around. But there's a whole wonderful world out there, and it's not sitting behind the TV or the computer screen that you're going to find that world. And in a couple birds. And I just want everyone to kind of reevaluate your situation and figure out the good in what's happening and not the bad. And do not be afraid. This is absolutely overdrawn, ridiculously bogus. And once everything's calmed down, of course, everyone will take credit for, because we did this or that. Everyone's safe, but in reality, nobody's going to have any money. So it's an interesting time. It's something we've never seen before. And they'll say, well, it happened in 1918. Not like this, it didn't. And the economics of it are completely different than 1918. So anyway, stay strong, be safe, and hopefully this gives you some inspiration to move your life in a different direction.